Hey guys, today we're finally back. It's been cold. I've been procrastinating on the gun cabinet build. It's been a long time. So I apologize for the lack of content being made, but we have the forge heating up, and today we're going to be starting some work on a katana, or just sort of a small catch-all Japanese sword. I'll get into the reasons why I chose a Japanese style katana sword for just a big week-long project. But I wanted to take advantage of the nice weather right now and sort of just jump into a project, try to get it done in a week. But this is going to be a very basic sword. As I said, due to my capabilities, I am going to be working with 5160 spring steel. I don't have the ability to get my hands on some 1080 or 1075 or something a bit more better for this application, and I don't have the ability to get steels that would be best for making that sort of like sand mine construction with the softer inner steel with the harder jacket. I don't have the capability of doing that. I don't have enough propane, and hopefully I don't not have enough for this, but the forge is heating up right now. I am going to I'm going to focus on very basic things, so no fuller in the blade, and a very basic guard, no real holes in it, and things like that. No handle wrap, just because I don't know where to get that, and I want to save that for later. My plan for today is, or for these series of videos, is to just forge a very basic sword, forge it out, and I want to practice a lot more on the blade per se. I want to get my bevels really nice. I want to forge really nice, like get very close to a fully forged piece. I want to practice, as I said, on my filing and grinding the bevels and hand sanding. I want to really focus on the blade part of this. This is what I want to learn with this process, is really get into that side of it, and leave the more detailed components like the handle, the handle and sort of guard and habaki, the little copper brass thing between the blade and the guard. I want to leave those to a later date, because I do want to come back to forging a sword at some point in time. But for right now, I just want to make this very basic, very simple, and really put as much effort as I can into the blade itself. So I'll jump down and I'll show you my design, my rough design I've got sketched out on the floor. So here's my design. It's just rough. I'm not trying to go for something super specific. I think my tang will end up being a little bit longer than what it is, maybe an inch or two longer, but I am working with a 3/4 by 3/4 by 14-inch piece of leaf spring 5160. I don't have anything else. I don't have like a 1080 or 1075, and I don't have the steel to really do an actual traditional style, like with a core steel and a hardened steel jacket. So we're just going to be forging this out of 5160. But this is my design. It's not super long, it's not super big, it's probably not something super specific, just more a catch-all katana style Japanese sword. It's not super specific, but for what I want to do is just make one and start out just getting into making one. This is going to be perfect. So this is going to go right into the fire and start heating up. So our steel is hot, it's ready to come out, and my plan is I'm going to forge it out flat, try to really draw it out to my full length, and then I'll work on my bevels. So of course we're going to need our heavy 4-pound to get a lot of work done. So let's just jump right in. So after that first heat, I think I'm either going to let the steel get hotter in the forge, or I'm going to get out my sledge and swing that, because if we're just using this for, it's going to take us a long time, even though this is still 3/4 by 3/4 inch. Heat number 2, and we got our sledge out. So we are back with the 4 because we got it all flattened out with our sledge. We're still going to keep flattening it out. We haven't really gained any more length from our original 15-inch piece. So we're just focusing on flattening it out and getting it to a thicker size because we're still about maybe a ½ inch thick. So I'm just planning on just right now, just flattening. Then when we get it to the flat point, so about maybe close to 3/8, a little bit, maybe a tiny bit more, then we'll start drawing it out and forging it on the edge. But we're just going to be taking it slow and steady. Okay, so due to difficulties as of running out of propane, we're going to have to use the coal forge because I have a little bit of charcoal. I got some salvage charcoal from the ashes. Got just some wood and stuff, so hopefully we can at least get this thing all flat. I'll just hold it with my tongs. We still need about, I think, like 8-ish inches. We still need a lot more length out of this. But if we go fast enough, play our cards right, we might be able to do this. So, gonna have to light the coal forge, and hopefully we can at least get this guy forged out. And by the time I'm done hand sanding it, grinding, and filing it, we can get some more propane, or at least charcoal. Hopefully not charcoal, but propane, so we can heat treat it. So, gonna light this forge, and hopefully we can get this guy forged out, or roughly forged out as close as we can. So, let's go. Okay, so coal forge really wasn't working out. I didn't have enough charcoal to really do much, and just I had to start bending the piece for it to really fit in the forge, because these farmer forges that I have really aren't very good when it comes to forging long and thick pieces. So this piece, it could definitely heat up, but because it's getting fairly long, I really couldn't work it very much, so I'll just have to wait to get propane, and that'll probably end up till tomorrow. But I was able to get it to its fairly final thickness. I will have to do a lot more drawing out, but it is a bit more wider than I would like it. So, and we still have quite a bit of thickness, so I'm not too concerned about that. But so we'll just have to try to get our forging and the forging, grinding, filing, and all that sort of stuff done tomorrow, because I just don't have propane. I don't have charcoal for both of my forges, so this is gonna have to wait, and of course it'll have to be straightened out. But in the meantime, I'm not going to just not do anything today, because I can't, I need to get this done. So I cut myself out a piece of aluminum, just a tiny little piece out of a piece of aluminum tube that I have. It's a 1/4 inch. I'm planning on potentially using this for the hibaki, because I don't have any other sort of more exotic materials. I don't have any copper, no brass, or the pieces of brass I do have aren't big enough. My guard, I'm planning on making that out of steel, but I have some ideas to make it a bit more cool. And of course, the handle is going to be made out of wood, of course, but gonna work on that later. And of course, this is gonna just be rough. I'm just gonna mainly be drawing this out and just slightly hammering it, because I can't really make the hibaki, because I need the sword to fit it to. But I'm gonna draw this out because it is fairly thick. It's about 1/4 inch thick, and it's probably I most certainly know that this is not big enough or long enough to make it work. So I'm gonna do that, and I do have my drawing still on the floor that I can work off of and get a rough idea of how this will look. So I'm just gonna just start hammering it. Just work with this small hammer, maybe my bigger 1.5 pound ball peen, or maybe some my lighter weight cross peens. Just see how this is gonna work. Just figure it out. But of course, it's aluminum, might be a little bit temperamental, so I'm just gonna take it slow. I'm gonna grind out some of these marks, just so I don't cause any sort of weird stresses to it, because I'm not gonna be heating this up, and I really don't feel like casting anything. And I don't really know what I'm going to do with forming the ends of it just yet. Like when it wraps around and pinches together, I think I might try to find some brazing wire. I really don't know what I want to do with that yet, but I'll just figure it out. But all I know at this moment in time, sorry if there was a big truck that just went by my house, but really, I just need something to do just to keep this project moving forward. Even if this is a complete failure, I'll know how I want to go about making the hibaki later on throughout the week. But I just need to get something done and continue on with the process. So this is, I think, the best step, even if it's a small step. Okay, so I've been hammering this, and I've gotten it quite a bit bigger, and it's gotten a little, it's kind of stayed the same thickness, but I have just gotten a bit closer, and there are these cracks starting to develop. I don't know if you can see that, but before I keep going, I'm gonna try bending this over just to see how this behaves, to see if I am going to uh, make the, if I should try forging it, or if I should just cut a longer piece out of the piece of aluminum tubing that I have. So I'm just going to try bending this over to see if I can keep working this, or at least do it again, because I think I might have to cut it out of just a big piece. So I'm going to go ahead and try that really quick. Just I'm just going to try getting it on the top. And yeah, that's what I suspected. There was a bunch of cracks forming, and it is unfortunate, but like I said, I at least know how I'm gonna do this now, and just I'm gonna cut the piece for the habaki just out of the big piece that I have. So a waste of material, but it's okay. So I've been playing around with trying to figure out how to make the guard on this. I don't know the technical name of it, like the traditional name, but I took one of my smaller grinding wheels and I quick traced it around on this piece of 3/16 inch plate. And what I've been doing is just taking my grinder with a cutoff wheel, and I have been slowly working around it to get this curve. And it's not going to be perfect, and I think it still looks a little big, but I can change that as we get closer and obviously compare it to my drawing. But I'm just going to keep going with this and see how I like it. I have started it, and I'm about halfway through it. So yeah, obviously, like I said, it's not going to be perfect, and I might want to make it a tiny bit smaller just for how big the sword is. But this is the technique, or style technique, I guess, I've landed on with making this. So I'm just going to keep on going. So I got it all cut out, and from cutting it out, I was able to get this sort of bevel on either edge. It's a smaller bevel. It's not perfect. I did take the edge off so it doesn't cut me. It's not perfect, and the circle doesn't seem perfect. At least I don't think it's perfect. Maybe it's just the bevel messing with me, but it's not perfect. But really, without having a lathe or a big hole saw of some sort to cut a piece like this, I'm really happy with the results that I've gotten with it and how I did it. And I do like the size of it. I thought it was going to be too big, but it turned out it's not. But what I want to do is I want to drill holes in this, and I want to take some copper, thick copper, not, maybe like 3/16 copper, like round bar, and rivet them through those holes to make like a perimeter of a copper, just add a little bit of flair. So I'm going to take my center finder, and I'm just going to mark, about 6 spots, or so, 6, maybe 8 spots, and then I'll, just find out where they are. But I'm just going to use a fine tip Sharpie to do that. So there's the center, and just looking at it, you can just see that it's not a perfect circle, but like I said, it's okay. It's all right. So that's about what I want. I want that's set 8. I mean, there's 8 of these, and I'm really happy with that. Obviously, like I said, this is not a perfect circle, but that's all right. I don't need it to be a super perfect circle. I think I'm going to go inside and get my calipers and just set it to a random distance and then scribe all the way around them, and then I will drill those out at whatever that size is. So whenever that's done, I will show me ribbing those in. So. Okay, so this is how the guard is looking right now. You saw me inlay these pieces of copper. I think it's looking very nice. And there's the back. Obviously, some of them are a little short and have some deep hammer marks. But, of course, this is going to be the bottom. This is the top. So, it's not going to be perfect. I am planning on hand sanding this, not leaving it like this. But I do like the nice shiny finish. Probably take this up to a higher finish than the actual blade itself, but yeah, it is a little unfortunate, but we'll have some hammer marks and low spots on the bottom, but it'll be okay. So we'll just rub this with our flap disc,
here it is. It's not super perfect, as I said, but it'll get all hand sanded. And I don't want to put too much work into this because we still have to obviously put the slot for the tang, and if we don't have a blade, and with a blade with no tang, we can't put the hole in this. So don't want to put a whole lot of work into this if I have to redo it, but I hope I don't, because it's looking really nice even though it's not perfect. As you can see, like this bottom hole by my thumb is a little, not circular, but I really do like it. It's really looking nice. So yeah, that's really all for today, because I don't know, just gonna end it right here with the guard. So tomorrow we'll be back. Hopefully we can get really far onto the blade, hopefully get all that forged ground filed, and hopefully hand sanded and maybe a hamon on it. So that's gonna be all for today. So till tomorrow, see you later.